Welcome to Double D's Lovecast.
I'm Damon.
And I'm Desiree, and this is Life Therapy.
Okay, so this week we are going to be going over another date topic for you guys to have, because we figure that oftentimes when you guys have been in a relationship, sometimes the dating conversation can get a little stale. Okay, so last week we did the first version of this on a certain topic that we did last week. So if you didn't see that episode, watch that one first before you watch this one. This week we are going to be discussing addressing conflict. Okay, problems and situations in the relationship that you may not be bringing up or talking about, and it is going to cause a lot of problems. Because what's going to happen if they don't talk about this stuff, babe?
It's going to build up, and then you're going to explode, and then you're just going to shut down your partner.
Yeah, totally. So it's very, very important that if you have an issue going on, and this is something, you guys, that we used to be terrible at. Like really terrible. We both shut down. We both didn't talk about it. We would get mad at each other, and then we wouldn't talk for days, right? And then it just nothing ever really got resolved, you know. And then there'd be moments of, you know, one or both of us blowing up at a certain point, usually this one. and it was because the situations were never actually being discussed, and we didn't have that emotional intimacy and the communication skills that we have now. Like now our communication skills are super, super good. So, but back then we did not, which is a huge factor as to why our relationship was basically fell apart, you know? So we're going to talk about the conflict stuff, and then I'm going to have some questions for you at the end that you can ask on your next date. Okay, so you guys got to understand this when it comes to your conflict. It's not always a bad thing when you bring it up. What it is an opportunity for you to get to learn more about your partner and understand more about your partner, and an opportunity for you guys to be able to grow closer, right? Which it's not always a negative, and it may get, you know, a little heated in the discussion during, but doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be a bad thing. Okay. And also keep in mind, not all problems are solvable. Okay. Just some of them are. They're just not solvable, right? So there's a point at some time in some things with people's certain personalities and things that you just have to accept them for who they are.
Yeah, I think also too, you know, you have to be open to listening to what the issue is, because some people are just so closed off. It's like my way or no way, no, very like tunnel vision.
Used to be both of us.
Exactly. And that's why we end up stopping communication between each other, is because it was literally like a roadblock. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. And so we just stopped communicating in general. And then it just led to, you know, where we were separated. And, but now we're actually listening to each other. We're open to what the other person has to say, their feelings, on how it makes them feel. So
what are some of those topics that you may have in your relationship that you're not bringing up to your partner because you're afraid maybe they're going to explode, or maybe it's going to turn into a huge... If you're avoiding the situation, it's going to build up, and at some point you're going to blow up, and then it's going to be detrimental to your relationship. Okay?
Yeah, so like just like us, you know, parenting styles were
completely different.
Absolutely. And because we're a blended family, you know, we treat our own biological kids different. That was like an issue. Discipline was an issue.
Just completely different discipline styles.
Yeah. It's just so many different things. And remember, like, too, like I'm a very super social, like, person when it comes to, like, I'm a people person. I love people's energy.
Hey, I am too.
I'm just saying, like, I have like a lot of friends and like people, and I'm very close with a lot of people, and so I like to be around a lot of people, which is like why women brunch, because we're social, we like to talk. And so I was putting my friends first before I'd put him, and so like because I didn't want to hang around with him.
Yeah,
you know,
we were in a bad spot at that point, you know.
So, but that just kept on emptying his love tank, and it just, you know,
made me more angry and resentful, you know, because she was prioritizing her friends over our relationship, and it just, you know.
Yeah. It's all about balance, life, guys.
So here's some topics that you may need to discuss with your spouse. Your cleanliness, okay? Some of you may be OCD, okay? OCD clean people, right? And your partner may be an absolute mess, which is not me. I'm pretty clean myself, but I'm way more clean now that I've been with her. Because she's so damn OCD.
Praise God.
Like literally, as we're speaking, the house is being cleaned by the house cleaners, even though it's already clean.
Yes, I don't like having knickknacks out. The only knickknacks I have are crystals.
Yeah, knickknacks, and then the holiday seasonal decorations, because she decorates on the day the new season starts. Like
mass amount of Halloween going on in the house right now.
Yeah, every holiday. But maybe your choices of vacation, maybe that's a conflict. Maybe one spouse wants to go do something cold and the other one wants to do something at the beach, right?
Like, and like a good thing when it comes for like vacation for us too is, this guy works out every single day of his life. I like to go on vacation and I like to vacation. I do not want to work out while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Because I like to sleep in and just relax. Like we live in our day-to-day life here is we like instantly wake up and we're on the go. Like, so if I'm on vacation, I don't want to be on the go, Yeah,
she likes to just chill. I have to get my workout in first every day. Otherwise, you don't want to be around me. Because I'll be an asshole if I don't get my workout in. Okay, I have to get my workout in every day. I got to put my time in on me. But she knows that, so I usually get up earlier than everybody else or her whenever we go somewhere, and I get my workout done first before we even start our day. So
yeah.
Another simple little topic that may be a little issue in your house is maybe the toilet seat being left up. Okay.
I hate that.
We have a house full of boys. Okay. It's all boys. Even the dogs are boys. So she hates that. And I definitely am guilty of that.
And they've done pretty well in the last 24 years since my oldest is 24, the toilet seat. I think
we try to be very respectful of
kind of almost got them all trained, except for him. He's still not trained.
Sometimes here and there, I'm like running around and I leave it up sometimes. And then she's like, hey, and then she'll go to close it up. My bad. I totally forgot about it. But I'm pretty good about it most of the time.
Yeah.
I'd say 90% of the time.
I like to have, you guys, just so you kind of know, my OCD-ness, bathroom, toilet seat, even the lid needs to be down. I like to have the door completely open if nobody's in there. So not even, a halfway open, all the way open. And I don't like any trash in the trash can in the bathrooms. Especially if it doesn't have a lid over that trash can. If I can see it that's just, it's just dirty.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And I'm a little OCD when it comes to the kitchen. It's just something that's kind of developed over the past few years. So I actually clean the kitchen every day before I go upstairs because I just can't stand kitchen being dirty. But anyway, so toilet seat, another one, could be something that we talk about quite often. Could be your sexual frequency. Okay. Now, in a lot of relationships, there's a lot of guys that want it more often than the girl is, open to allowing or being interested in. That's an important topic that you guys need to discuss because, like I tell you guys all the time, if you ain't having weekly sex, you ain't got a relationship. You got a roommate. Okay. So you need to be having weekly sex. Okay. So another topic that may be something you need to discuss too is family. Right. One person maybe want to be more independent from the family. The other one may want to be more included with the family. When I say family, I'm talking about your siblings, your parents, your grandparents, things like that, not your immediate. Household chores is another topic that maybe you need to discuss, right? Maybe, one of you is doing all of them. Maybe he's doing all of them, or maybe she's doing all of them. And man, can you help out here with the chores? This is a topic that maybe you need to discuss.
But you wouldn't want to say it like that.
No. We're going to get to that in a second. So the whole point is that you have to have these conversations. Another thing that you may need to address is how you actually address conflict, right? That may be another topic that you guys need to discuss. Your fitness, okay, may be another topic. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little hint here, okay? And now, I believe that you should always be marketable for your spouse, should always be visually pleasing for your spouse. So here's a little hint here. If your spouse is saying anything to you about working out, that is your sign that they think that you are out of control and you need to get it together. So if you have a spouse that's like, hey, You want to go work out? Hey, you think you should be eating that? They're basically saying you're fat and they want you to step it up because you're getting out of control. Okay, so listen to what they're saying there. But it may be a conversation that you guys need to have because it is important that you always look good for your spouse, not only for the visual aspect of it and the sexual aspect of it, but also for your health and your confidence and how you feel about yourself. Because the better you feel about yourself, the better you're going to show up in your relationship.
And to be a better role model to your children because they are watching everything that you do.
They mirror what you do. So another factor, which is definitely a huge difference between us, is religion. Okay, which might be another topic, right? We're complete opposites whenever it comes to that. But at the same time, we kind of run side by side, right? With a lot of the beliefs that we have, we just believe in different sources of things. I believe in universe and energy and frequency and science. She's more believes in God, right? But a lot of the same beliefs that they have run very parallel to each other. So, and I go to church every single Sunday, right? Because I love church, right? Because I support whatever she's into. And then another factor that you guys may need to discuss too is fun. How do you guys have fun, right? One of you may be wild and crazy. One of you may just want to just chill, right? So, and watch Netflix.
I have moments where I want to be wild and fun.
She does. She's fun. She's fun all the time, actually. But anyways, you want to have these conversations and understand that maybe not everything's going to be solvable, but you need to actually learn more about each other and why they feel the way that they do. Because if you don't do this, you're going to create emotional distance. Okay. And emotional distance leads to what we had and what happened to us. Okay. You don't want that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think too, it's super important to I would just straight out ask you, what are your pet peeves? What can you not stand? What drives you crazy? Because I have some of those.
You do. Yeah, totally. I do too. So I think everybody does, has their own peeves.
Yeah.
So the next thing, I'm going to give you guys a little hack. So ladies, listen up. This is mostly ladies that watch this. Okay. So I'm going to give you a hack on how you can bring something up to your man. Okay. And if you do it this way, you will be successful. Okay, because if you just come right out and you start lashing because you've been holding all this stuff and building all this resentment and you lash out, you're going to trigger him. You're going to trigger a reaction. He's going to argue, fight back, get defensive, and it's not going to work. You're not going to get your point across.
He's going to shut down.
Okay, he's completely going to shut down and he's not going to hear a word you said.
And then he's going to be angry.
Yeah, so here's the secret. Okay, it's
don't be a nag.
Here's the secret. So when it comes to you bringing up a topic to your man, ladies, here is the secret. It's really just a few words. If you always start it this way, he will hear you. Okay, and it starts out like this. I feel blank, whatever emotion you're feeling, when or because of this. Okay, do you hear what I said? I feel. So let me give you an example. I feel hurt each time that you leave dishes in the sink after I just spent an hour cleaning the kitchen. You hear what I said? Now, from a man's perspective, he's going to go, oh, damn, I don't want to hurt my woman. No man ever wants to hurt his woman intentionally. So if she feels hurt that if he's thinking like she's feeling hurt because I just basically just trashed her kitchen, disrespected her, I'm not appreciating the work that she's putting in the kitchen, right? He's going to be like, oh, man, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. Like, if you use that phrase, especially the word hurt, okay, that one will hit a soft spot in him for sure.
Sometimes, because then you can be like, hurt? What are you talking about, woman? We're just talking about the dishes. You act like I cheated on you or something.
I would never say something like that, but yeah.
But there's some people out there.
There is, for sure.
Those are the ones that are closed-minded.
Totally. But that's the hack. So if you start off with the phrase, I feel blank whenever blank, right? So that's the way you can bring this up to them. And that will be an easy way. And I was actually, right before we started this show, I'm like, what would be a great way for a guy to bring that, let's say the wife is doing something, that is annoying the hell out of him. Like, what should a guy say to his wife?
I would say absolutely the same thing.
Which is news to me because I was like, I don't even know, because we have such good communication. It's just, we just talk about it. But she said, basically say the same thing, which makes sense, you know, because girls are all in their feelings, all in their feelings.
You're like, oh, that's so cute. You were hurt. Oh, I'm so sorry. You must be so vulnerable right now.
I don't think we would use the word hurt, but I think a dude would probably say it probably makes me very upset or makes me very angry or makes me frustrated or something like that. It's probably the
Then
phrase.
pick up that shit yourself.
But anyway, the whole point of this is to address conflicts head on so that way you grow closer. These are opportunities for you to learn more about your partner so that way you can grow closer, not to correct them. Okay? Not to correct them. Understand? So, and remember, not everything has solutions. Okay? So you need to be able to accept each other's point of views and accept that maybe your situation may not have a solution. Okay? So
yeah, that's why I think it's honestly, if you live with your spouse or a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, is to have like an idea of say like, hey, this is what each person's going to be responsible. So we talked about this in the last episode about not like you're not going to go and assign your husband chores, right? So to talk about like, say, hey, like I do this. It could really help me out if you can be responsible for like the trash or like emptying the dishwasher, any of those type of things. So they know that that's kind of what their role is in part of the house. So like, for instance, I'm actually going to put a chalkboard up in our house where everybody's going to see it all the time and be like, this is all of our homes. We're all going to contribute to taking care of our home because it shouldn't be up to one person's responsibility to take care of the house. So that'd be everybody has like a responsibility in the house, right? Because that's what you have, a family unit in the house. Everybody has something that keeps that household going.
Yeah, she's already Axel's 6 and she's already given him chores.
And it's something so easy, like the dishwasher, like he is responsible for the silverware. Like, and I think it's great for him to do that as well. So I'll just like put the silverware out, and most of the time he kind of knows like that's I got to do that. But then he does like, so what does so and so have to do? What's their chore?
He's a little mouthy one right now. Okay, so here's some questions you guys can ask on your next date. Okay, and this is going to help you find out more about each other, and you may learn some things about your partner that you may not have known before. Okay.
So really quick before we start those, because we did this in the last episode, so I'm really interested in hearing from you guys if you did those questions and how it went.
Yes.
So if you're part of the Facebook group, put a comment in there, a post in there, something. Would love to hear some information. You can even comment on this post if you are on Facebook on this post as well.
These questions will be in the description too, by the way. I'll put them in the description.
I want to hear like how things are going, like who has been implementing all these things that we're sharing, because I don't want to waste my time.
I have been getting lots of messages that couples have been having a lot more sex. I talked about that last week. Okay, so question number 1. So you're going to ask each other these things. Okay, so question number 1 is, how was conflict handled in your family growing up? Okay, this one question right here is going to help you understand your partner more, because the way that you guys were the example that you were shown
is kind of how you're going to be.
It's pretty much how you behave. Okay, so when you find out how they handled it in the home whenever you were a child and whenever they were a child, you're going to understand them a lot better. Second question: how do you feel about anger, and how was it expressed in your home growing up? Let's see where this is going. Deep questions right here. You could really dig into this stuff right here. Okay.
And so we did this, way back when we first started like meeting up to talk about all these things and start working on repairing our marriage. So it actually, these questions are so good because it makes you think about things that you would never have thought of to like ask your partner.
Yeah. And you're going to even find out stuff about yourself. You're going to be like, wow, my mom used to do this. And now this is why I'm doing that. I never even realized that, So next question. How can I best support you when you are feeling angry? That's a good one.
Just to leave me alone, right? Give me a moment.
How do you like to make up after a disagreement? That's the next question. That's number 4. And then number 5, what do you now understand about your partner that you didn't before this little exercise? Okay, this is good date question conversation stuff. Now, there's 3 questions that you can ask whenever you get the answer to some of these things that you can dig into. And I would recommend that you guys screenshot this or save this in your notes on your phone, so that way you can remember. So 3 questions to ask so you can understand and connect in an even deeper level is, what is the story of how this issue is important to you? So there's a story as to why this issue is important. There's a story that's something that happened to you that made you think or behave in this way. So what's that story, right? So the next question is there a story behind this issue related to your own personal history with family growing up? Okay, we all grew up differently. We're all raised
Everybody
differently.
has a story.
And the last one, is there a deeper purpose or goal on this issue? Okay, what's your deeper purpose or goal on this topic, whatever it is that you're discussing?
Yeah, I think in the long run, guys, if you didn't grow up in a good family, like home where, I mean, there's anger, like divorce, like cheating, abuse, like that type of stuff, it's up to you to change the cycle to where you don't repeat that. So how else are you going to be able to change that unless you make changes, right? So you have to make changes, but first you have to identify the things that you need to make changes for and figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What am I going to change? How are we going to be completely different? Because it's just going to be a cycle, family after family after family, as your generations continue to grow.
And the number one, the best gift that you can give your children is an example of a great marriage, right? Because kids that grow up in broken homes tend to have broken relationships, okay? Because they're emotionally a mess, right? So,
and the best way to, even with your kids and your spouse, is all about communication. So bring your kids in more to everything that you do, include them more, do family dinners, like, you know, like that type of stuff. Because I think a lot of times we do live in such a busy like time where we're distracted with social media. We are
both
working
parents are
jobs.
They're both out of the home all day.
We have like latchkey kids, you know, where the kids are home, and we kind of are just exhausted and run down. But we really need to take a stop and bring everybody back together. So just doing like family dinners or family game night, and just doing some questions like this and fun family games, because that communication with your children and your husband and just that time for making memories is really just going to change like the future for your whole family.
Yeah, definitely. We tend to do the family like brunch on like Sundays after church. Is usually we'll grill up some meat. We get the family together. Grandpa's there, and then we all hang out and spend some time together. And then there's that actually probably be a separate podcast, but we do these 3 questions that we do with the family. And we just go around the table with everybody, and then
youngest to oldest,
and then each person answers a question. Like the first question is, what did you learn this week? Right. And then people dive in and ask more about that stuff within that topic. And then
what are you grateful for?
Next question is, what are you grateful for? And then the last one is, what are you looking forward to this week? Right. So Axel usually gives us some really funny answers. It's pretty funny. So he's always
Axel's
grateful for
always
mom.
grateful for me.
Always grateful for mom.
Because I'm his mommy.
Why? Because she's beautiful and I love her. It's always his answer. It's funny. But anyway, that pretty much concludes this episode. So make sure you subscribe to the channels.
Yes,
so
guys.
That way you get
Share
notified.
With your friends.
Share them with your friends. We're trying to help you guys have great marriages. So make sure you get this word out, get these things out. So that way, we can help you, because we're not taught this stuff growing up, So
hey, and if you know somebody, because we all know somebody that is struggling in their marriage, like ninja tag like a ton of people and them on these episodes,
or just send via Facebook Messenger. Send it straight to them directly, So that.
But some people don't like to be called out like them. So if you just tag like a ton of people, and
you can do that too.
Just saying.
So
Because people are always like, why are they tagging me? What are you trying to say? Like totally singling me out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said
So.
send it via messenger, because that way nobody sees it. So that's another option. But anyway, that pretty much concludes this episode. You got anything else you want to add?
I do not. Make sure you get out there and date, guys.
Yes,
date your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Date your partner.
spouse.
Date your kids.
Yes, that's actually a good idea too. So take them out individually. Is what she's saying.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye guys.